Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to work through the process of inviting a client to one of our projects. Now there could be a point at which you and your team are going to be working with an individual where you're going to be performing work for them and you're going to want to have them in on some of the conversations but not on others. If that's the case, you're going to go to this invite more people area. You're then going to place here the client. Now you're only going to want to do this if you're going to have someone working with you from outside that you don't want to see everything. And if that's the case, then you're going to click Yes, turn on client access. Now what you're going to do is you're going to invite the client. And then you'll send the invitation. What happens now is that when we create a new message, what you'll notice here is that we can then designate these messages so that they are not shown to the client. So we can just click this link and this will tell Basecamp not to show this message to our client. We can go back through our to-do list. We can click inside of that to-do list. We can click edit and then we can determine that this to-do list will not be shown to the client. And we'll click Save Changes. We can go back and edit our documents and we'll have this option given to us. Don't show this document to the client. We can click this button and then click Save Changes. So now what we have is a way of going back to our old content, editing it so that we can make sure that the client does not see it, as well as all of our new content, whether or not it's something that we want the client to see when they're part of the discussion. Now we can modify this individual's profile. We go to Everyone and we click on their name, and then we can click their superpowers and access to projects. Again, all we're doing is making sure that the client has access to only one thing. If we want to give them access to other things, we can do that from this screen. Now when the other individual logs in, they'll only see 2 to-do lists as opposed to the 3 that are already there. They'll only see 1 text document as opposed to the 2 that are already there. So basically what we've done is we've given them access to part of the project, but not everything. And this does is allows you to have input from the client while at the same time controlling access from things that they don't need to see until the project has been completed. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now you may want to work with a freelancer or outsourcer on a project and you don't want to give them access to the entire project. Now what we have is you have the option of creating a client option, a client login for them so that you can limit the number of things that they'll be able to see within a project. Or what you can do is to create sub-projects. So for example, you can make it so that an individual will only have access to certain projects, and those are going to be the projects and while everyone else on the team might have access, this individual will only have access to that project that you have designated for them. What you're doing in this case is you're creating a new project, and that project is only going to be for certain aspects of a project. And you're only going to invite the individuals that will be temporary, or they're only going to be part of this one project and not a part of the larger project. Then once the project is completed, what you can do is go into the project settings and then you can archive this project so that the individual will then have access, but they'll only have access, but not access to the things that you don't want them to see. You can also manage the project further by making sure that this individual is no longer part of your team. And by going into their superpowers, you can go to this right-hand link and you can remove that individual entirely from your Basecamp system. And by using and archiving sub-projects, you will not have more projects than you need counting towards your Basecamp limit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.